Salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today I'm going to be talking about some books that are on my Kindle Unlimited TBR. Hello, how are you? Welcome or welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to Vlogmas. We are doing the dang thing. We are doing Vlogmas. We are posting a video every single day in the month of December. If you want to see the playlist of the videos I've already posted, I will leave it down below for you, as well as last year's Vlogmas. I'm trying to do mainly bookish related videos, so today we're going to be talking about some books that I have on my Kindle Unlimited TBR. I exclusively read Kindle Unlimited, honestly. My preferred way of reading is on my Kindle, reading ebooks. I don't really listen to audiobooks that often. If it's a narrator that I really like, I'll listen to an audiobook, but to be honest, I don't love background noise, so I don't love just playing audiobooks in the background. And also, I zone out very easily when there's background noise, and I find myself like always having to rewind, and I just can't focus with audiobooks. I feel like that's kind of an unpopular opinion because most people exclusively read audio, but I just cannot focus. I can't. And then I don't love carrying around physical copies all the time, and sometimes physical copies are expensive or more expensive than ebooks. So yeah, I just read a lot on my Kindle, and because of that, I read a shit ton on Kindle Unlimited. I also read a lot of novellas on KU. I'm not going to be talking about all 20 books on my shelf right now because a lot of them are like series. These are like 4th, 5th books in a series that you have to read in order. So I'm going to be talking about 10 today. Okay, so the first book I think I've mentioned before, and that is The Stepmother by Melissa Therese. I hope I pronounced that last name correctly. This is a sapphic romance. And if you know anything about me, I love sapphic romances. One is a stepmother romance, which I found so interesting because it's always like my ex-boyfriend's dad or my stepfather, my stepbrother. I've never seen one with a stepmother, which honestly sounds divine. Heroine Haley, her father just passed away, but she was never really close to her father, so she's not exactly grieving. She's more so ready to start this new chapter in her life. She has no interest in meeting her father's last wife. So her father got married. She never met her stepmother, quote unquote, until he passed away. She ends up going back to where her father lived, and she meets her stepmother, and there is an instant chemistry that neither of them were expecting, and it follows their romance. Synopsis says their connection flares hot in an instant, but is it doomed to fizzle out? So I'm assuming this is very steamy, which I am all for. Next one that I have on my TBR is called Scandal by Nevessa Allen, the first book in the series, and this one is a poly romance. Okay, I love sapphic romances, but I also love poly romances. Anything that's more than 2 people, I'm here for. I love it. Our heroine, Catherine, she's a duchess, and she got married more so for convenience. So her and her husband, John, had a marriage of convenience, more because of money and titles and nobility, and her husband has a lover, and his name is Henry, and they've always operated where it's just like her husband and his lover. She's married out of convenience, but a steamy night happens where all 3 of them are together, the wife, the husband, and the lover, and they form a poly triad. And I am assuming this is going to be very scandalous based on the title being Scandal. It's described as an erotic historical fiction. That's all I need to know. That is all I need to know. Sign me the fuck up. This one is called Eden by Xavier Neal. Sorry if I'm looking down. I'm just reading some of the synopses on my phone. This is another poly romances. 2 guys and 1 girl. Our heroine has been in love with her neighbors, the Lawson brothers, for her entire life. Others were adopted into the family, so they're not like blood related. I feel like that's important to say because this is a poly romance between the 2 guys and the girl. So they were adopted into the same family, but they're not blood related. This is described as a dark, forbidden MMF romance. Heroes end up leaving their town and making a name for themselves as professional athletes. They've won gold medals at the Olympics. They've become these huge household names. Now they have come back home to seduce our heroine. And I'm just, all I need to know is that it's poly. It says that it's poly, and I will read it. Let's switch it up a bit and talk about a paranormal, cozy mystery romance. So this one is called A Dead and Stormy Night by Stephanie Holmes. This is the first book in the Nevermore Bookshop mystery series. And the synopsis really caught my eye. So the synopsis says, what do you get when you cross a cursed bookshop, 3 hot fictional men, and a murder mystery to solve? A good time. That is what you get. A good time. Our heroine gets fired from her job, and she ends up moving to the small town in England to open up a bookstore, and bum bum bum, there's a murder going on that she needs to figure out what's going on. So it's kind of like a cozy mystery, but it is definitely a romance. She has 3 love interests in this book. I don't think it's poly. I think it's more like a love quad. But anyways, I'm still really interested in reading it. I love cozy mysteries, and anytime I read a cozy mystery, I always want there to be more romance, which I feel like this is going to give me. So very excited to read this one. Next one I really want to read is Blood Moon by Gillian Graves, and this is described as an enemies to lovers romance between a witch and a vampire. It also says that it's a grumpy heroine and a sunshine hero. It's a one-night stand, plus-size heroine, mind-reading vampire. It has like all the tropes listed in the synopsis, which I think is kind of cute. Lauren is a witch and she owns a bar, and she has kind of a rival with a vampire who has like a competitive business, but they end up going to a club and having a one-night stand that definitely turns into more, and this one sounds really good. I've read a gargoyle romance by the same author and I thought it was awesome, so excited to read more from this author. The book that looks really cozy is The House Witch, and this is described as a humorous romantic fantasy. I don't really read fantasy books whatsoever. It's not my vibe, but I'm trying to get more into it. I really want to read Legends and Lattes because I know that book like blew up on TikTok and everybody loves it. It's described as a low stake fantasy romance, and when I was looking at this book in the synopsis, this one, The House Witch, was recommended right underneath it, so I ended up adding it to my Kindle. Hero works at a royal household and he is supposed to be the royal cook, but he has a little bit of a secret identity, some magic, and he ends up saving people of the royal family and misfits and people who need help. I don't know, it just sounds like a really interesting fantasy romance, so there we go. I just want to read it. Next one I want to read is called The Forgotten Phantom by Catherine Ann Kingsley, and this is the first book in the Creature Feature series. All that I know and all that I need to know is this is a Phantom of the Opera retelling. Phantom of the Opera is easily one of my favorite movies, books, musicals, plays ever. Literally ever. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, it's on the shelf right in front of me. I have 9 copies of this damn book. I am obsessed. I have seen the play at least 3 times in person. I grew up watching the movie with Gerard Butler with my sister, like on repeat our entire childhood. I just love it. I love it so much. It means so much to me, and I want nothing but to read romances that talk about Phantom of the Opera. And I will have a reading vlog with this one because I have some other books on my TBR that also are Phantom of the Opera retellings. Next one I added because of TikTok. I get a lot of recommendations from TikTok. Listen, I love BookTok. I know some people don't like it, but I love it, okay? I love it with my whole heart, body, and soul. Follow me on BookTok, Books with Samantha. I post there literally every day because it's just fun. And anyways, moving on. That was a shameless plug. I found this hockey romance on TikTok. It's called Mile High by Liz Tom Ford. I was doing a hockey romance recommendation video for Trope Week, which I already posted, so I'll leave it down below. And as I was doing some research, seeing like what hockey romances everyone loves, which ones I should add to my TBR, this one was like the one that was showing up on everybody's TBR. I was living under a rock because I did not know about it. So this is a really popular hockey romance series that I need to read. And that's all I know about it, is that it's a hockey romance series that everyone loves. And again, that's all I need to know. The next one I want to read is called In This Iron Ground by Marina Vivancos, and this is the first book in the Natural Magic duology. Marina Vivancos writes a lot of novellas on Kindle Unlimited. She's one of my new favorite authors. I have talked about her books endlessly. They're just so sweepingly romantic. They're angsty, they're emotional. Her writing is like hauntingly beautiful. I just love her to pieces, and I wish more people read her books, and I'm working my way through her whole backlist. So I've read all of her novellas, but this is actually one of her full-length novels, and it is a friends to lovers romance. It follows our main hero Damien, who is sleeping with his best friend. They have like a friends to lovers situation, and he is also a werewolf shifter. They both have a lot of trauma in their childhood that they're working through that has not really allowed them to be vulnerable and open up, and they're navigating that part of themselves as they go through their romance. And it sounds like it's going to destroy me, but also sounds like it's going to be really sweet and romantic, like all of Marina Vivancos books are. So yeah, this one is definitely on my list. Those are just a couple books that I have on my Kindle Unlimited TBR. Let me know what's on your TBR. You guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!